So Alan, how do you assess the performance tonight?
I was, as I say, I'm quite happy. As I say, we come up today on the coach. It's a fair old journey, and 27 guys, and I promised them all a run, which I did do. They all got out there, and I think that look if you split into two halves, we did really well in the first half. We were in the lead. Missed a kick to sort of stretch that as well in front of the post. But no, you've got to give Glasgow credit. Glasgow. I knew these boys would be really up for the task, because obviously Scotland, England, and any time an English club comes over the border, the Glasgow boys are up for it. And I could tell that the players, looking at their faces in the warm up, that they're really fired up. Not saying we weren't, but it's our first sort of hit out, as well as a lot of new faces. And as I say, I'm happy with that result. To come to Glasgow and yeah, we got beat. We'd love to keep that win and run going after the sevens or whatever. But I'm pleased for the boys. I thought they done well.
And you mentioned the new signings. Who was the pick?
I thought Greg was outstanding at 10. And it was a gamble putting him in there from the start, because I spoke to him when he first came here. He's obviously played 15 all his career since he was 20-year-old. He played 10 when he was a junior. But I did say I wanted him to back up Jimmy if Jimmy was injured. And unfortunately Jimmy got a niggle this week, so we pulled him out. I threw Greg in there. Although I've got young Joel and young Tom Kaplick, I do think that Greg looks more, his experience. He's mentally and physically stronger, and I was really pleased with his performance. I thought he really done well.
And you certainly had big boots to fill in Jimmy as well.
Oh, definitely.
It's hard act to follow.
Yeah, massive boots to fill with Jimmy, but he done well. And I thought Jamie first half, I took him off at half time because he got a little bit of a knock on a dead leg. But I think when he went off, there was a bit of shape went missing in defence. They went quiet a little bit, and they took advantage of that in the second half. They scored 2 tries out in the backs. So taking Jamie off was a big influence. And again, that's the senior players, which we talked about last year, was that we needed experience. And you take all them experienced guys off, and we're back to square one what we were last year. But the good thing was this year, I thought the young lads, they were put under pressure. As Paul was sitting next to me, he said, look, this will be a great test for some of these young guys, and like say Glenn Townsend, they're out there calling the line-outs now, and it's a massive bit of pressure for them. And they come through at the end. We did give away 2 softish tries, but they stuck to the task to the very end.
And Jamie stood out, particularly in the first half, with some big hits. He's one that the fans are going to love. Is he fit next week?
I'll have to wait and see. As I say, he got a knee in his thigh, and it's always the same with dead leg. You ice them up and get them off quickly, and we'll preserve him for next week. He probably won't run around for the next 2 or 3 days, but he was, as I say, he's a good sign, and he's going to be a good lad.
And just moving on to next week, finally, what message do you have for fans thinking about turning up based on tonight's performance?
I don't think you can't look into one game. It's a friendly game at the end of the day, and you just, you've got to. We played 27 players out there. We give a young 18-year-old kid in Joe Robinson his first run out for the club. The boy was, it's a massive honour for him and he really loves the Falcons. And these are the kind of things we're doing at the Falcons, and we've got Leeds next week. We know it's a big game, and we said we'd crank it up next week. Next week there'll be 23 players on the bench next week, on the pitch and in the squad, and we'll start cranking up a little bit.
And when I mentioned performance, what I meant to say was obviously potential. There's a lot of potential in the side tonight, and a lot of encouraging signs for next week.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got a lot of young lads out there, and as I say, we just have to keep on going. There's no use panicking after tonight. We just have to keep building that, and we've got to get things better, because that's how we improve. And we've still got a hell of a big guns to come back. And
it's off to the Lake District now for a bit of team bonding. Looking forward to it.
I think the way they're going, there'll be a bit of bonding tonight as well, and that's good, because we need to get a beer together, and as I say, and air a few things, and we'll go down to the lakes tomorrow. We've got some team building events, and I think we'll be jumping in Lake Hullswater on Sunday. Yeah. So we'll have a bit of fun, and I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into next week now.
Good stuff.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.